I've read the best books when it comes to improving self-discipline, as recommended by the most successful people. Since I started following each of these points, I have seen a massive improvement in my productivity. And I'm certain that if you can apply all of these points together, you'll be able to achieve your goals quicker. So let's get straight into it. Be clear on your why. Make sure you're genuinely motivated by it. You might be thinking, well, I'm not blessed with self-discipline like these famous athletes. But the book Grit by Angela Duckworth mentions how when it comes to self-discipline, you can cultivate this. You don't need to be born with any special talents to become self-disciplined as a person. And in order to become self-disciplined, you need to have a motivating reason why you want to do something. One practical way to get an inspiring why is to think about how what you're doing will genuinely have a big positive impact on other people. So by having a clear why, you're much more likely to push through obstacles such as pain or even fatigue. Every day I go on my iPad and spend 5 minutes each morning going through not just what I need to do, but why I need to do it. The benefit I've seen myself is that when things get hard, I find it a lot easier to recall the reasons as to why I should keep going, in spite of how difficult things may be. Now, once you've got a genuinely inspiring reason, or even reasons for wanting to do something, now you need to actually make that into a reality. Ray Dalio, billionaire hedge fund founder, talks about the 5 steps that are needed to be undertaken in order to get anything you want in life. Now that we've established a motivating why, we now need to set clear goals. Goals should be specific, they should be measurable, they should also have a deadline set against them, which holds us accountable for getting it across the line. Identify any problems that we see holding us back. It can be problems that we predict, or it could be problems based on our previous experience. Once we've identified the problems, we should write them down and we should actually look to diagnose the source of the problems. One practical way to get to the root cause of a problem is to just keep asking yourself, well, why did this happen? Now you've understood what problems you face and what the root cause of those problems are, you're in a great position to actually design a plan. Now this plan should have the clearly outlined steps of what actually needs to be undertaken for you to achieve those specific goals. These plans should also accommodate the problems that you've outlined, so you know how to avoid those problems going forward. The final step is to actually implement the plan and do the doing. And when you face new problems, remember to stop, reflect, understand the root cause of them, and then adapt your plan accordingly. To objectively see how you're progressing, it's worth tracking your progress against the goals on a regular basis. I'm slightly more old school and I'll use Microsoft Excel to track what needs to be done and how many hours I'm actually putting in. Some of you watching this may have had the same problem I had, where I would have a compelling why, I'd have a solid action plan, but every time I would just find myself facing more and more problems. Well, this is where the book Atomic Habits by James Clear came in and actually really changed my perspective on self-discipline. So James Clear mentions how self-disciplined people actually focus on structuring their environment to enable self-discipline to occur and remove any temptation. Some of you watching may have the same problem that I have, where I'm just addicted to my mobile phone at times. I know I need to be doing deep work, and even though my mobile phone's on silent, I would find that as soon as I see my phone light up because of a new notification, I was compelled to check what was happening, and that would constantly interrupt my deep work. And it was a simple fix where I got my phone, I put it on the other side of the room, and I'm a bit weird, so I put it behind a cushion so that it was out of sight as well. And since doing that, I've seen a massive improvement in my ability to stay focused during work. And when I do feel the temptation to actually go on my phone and check to see what's happening, because it's so far away, I actually am a bit lazy and can't be bothered to go all the way on the other side of my room to see what may or may not have happened in the last hour. Do it anyway, regardless of how you feel. It's all good having these inspiring goals. The reality of life is that you're not always going to feel good. Maybe you feel exhausted because you had a poor night's sleep the night before, and you're in two minds as to whether or not you should do what you're supposed to be doing. Firstly, recognize you're not weak for feeling like this. The book The Science of Self-Discipline highlights how fatigue is a completely normal emotion that we all face. Self-disciplined people just do it regardless of how they feel. And that is ultimately the key to becoming self-disciplined. Track how many times throughout the week you've done something important, even though you felt terrible. By reviewing your progress on an ongoing basis, you'll objectively see how your self-discipline is actually growing as you're doing more and more things in spite of how you feel. If you do all of these points, I can guarantee that you will see significant progress in your steps to becoming more self-disciplined. Thanks for watching.